I'm Thor from TC Electronic, and today I'm here to show you the brand new DarkMatter Distortion from TC. DarkMatter Distortion was designed to sound as much like a cranked tube amp as possible, and this means that what you get is a wide range of drive sounds, everything from almost subtle overdrive type sounds to lots and lots of crunch. So let's check it out. DarkMatter Distortion features 4 knobs, a gain knob that lets you control the amount of distortion, a level knob that lets you match the distorted sound with your clean signal, or it can also be used for boosting your amp. And last but not least, we have 2 filter knobs, a bass knob and a treble knob that lets you both cut and boost the bass and treble frequencies independently. Having individual bass and treble knobs are great, especially for a distortion pedal, because there's a huge difference between using a little bit of distortion and using a lot of distortion. As soon as you start adding on the gain, your sounds tend to get mushy if you don't back off the bass a little bit. And with a regular tone knob that you will find on many drive pedals, this is hard to do. So having both in the pedal allows for a lot more tonal flexibility. The little toggle switch down here that says voice lets you choose between 2 different voicings of the pedal. In the top position we have emphasis on the lower mids, and that will give you a more vintage type sound. And in the bottom position we have more emphasis on the higher mids, and that'll give you a more modern sound. When designing DarkMatter Distortions, there were 3 things that we really try to focus on with this pedal in order to make it sound as amp-like as possible. 1, it should be very dynamic, so not a lot of compression going on here. It should respond very well to how you pick, so soft picking will give you one type of tone and harder picking will give you a more aggressive type tone. Some drive pedals tend to compress everything to the point where you can't really hear the difference in your picking at all. The second thing we focused on was how the pedal responds when you back off the volume of your guitar. Like a great tube amp, it should be almost clean when you back it down and then go into full distortion when you crank the volume of the guitar, giving you a wide range of different sounds just by riding your volume knob. Last but not least, we wanted to get that raw and open sound that you get when you crank a tube amp and you can really hear the power tubes distorting. On top of that, the pedal features 2 bypass and runs off a regular 9-volt battery or from a DC supply. In most of these clips I'm playing through a clean amp with just a little bit of delay added from the flashback delay. So here's the clean sound. In this example I'm using quite a lot of gain, but toggling through the different pickup positions on my guitar and using the volume knob, you'll notice that I have a lot of different sounds just by using the guitar controls. So turning the guitar volume down and using the split position on my guitar, I get almost into Steve Ray type sounds. So as you can see, it goes from totally clean to great crunchy rock riffs just by using the volume knob. In this example, and still using the same settings, I'm going to use different pick dynamics to give you an idea of how well DarkMatter Distortion picks up and how you attack the different notes. Let's check out the range of the pot meters. So here's how the pedal sounds with everything at 12 o'clock. Here's DarkMatter Distortion with the gain at 9 o'clock, for a more traditional rock type sound. If you back the gain all the way down, you get an almost clean type of boost that just add a little bit of hair to your sound. So again, here's my clean sound. And with the pedal on. With the gain totally cranked, you get that great mid-range heavy raw that you'd expect when you play hard rock, and it's great for leads, of course, as well. You'll notice that with the gain totally cranked, you can still hear the individual notes even with complex chords. This setting is of course also great for lead playing. And even with this amount of distortion, you can still totally hear when I change pickups that you don't lose the character of the guitar. Just like a great tube amp, you'll notice that DarkMatter Distortion responds very differently to whatever guitar I'm playing. So before I used a Super Strat, and now I'm using a more traditional vintage-like Stratocaster with single coils. And you'll notice that the pedal sounds very different, but of course still absolutely amazing. And sorry for the humming. This room wasn't really built for single coils, but hope you can live with that. Let's try to hear some of the more vintage type sounds you can get from DarkMatter Distortion using an old school Strat and the toggle switch here in the vintage mode. And again, you'll notice that I get a wide variety of different sounds just by using the volume knob. Let's hear how the pedal sounds with the gain cranked on a single coil guitar. Again, using the Strat, you'll notice that DarkMatter Distortion is also great for just adding a little bit of attitude to your clean sound. So check this out. This is with the pedal off. And with the pedal on. Last but not least, let's check out how the pedal sounds with the almighty Telecaster. Using the Telecaster, let's check out how the tone controls react. Here's everything at 12 o'clock. Let's try to add a bit of bass. Now I added some treble for that classic Telecaster bite. And for a more mellow tone, I backed down the treble a bit and added a bit of bass. Using the tone controls, you'll notice that we tried very hard to make the entire range of the bass and treble controls to be useful. On a lot of drive pedals, you'll find that the tone control really only works within a very limited range. But on DarkMatter Distortion, you have the entire range that's useful, so that's a great way to fine-tune your sound. When designing DarkMatter Distortion and Mojo Mojo Overdrive, we made sure that the two pedals complement each other beautifully. So on top of sounding great, one by one, they also stack together perfectly. So with those two pedals, you basically have a clean sound with the pedals off, an overdriven kind of crunchy sound with the Mojo Mojo Overdrive alone, then a more rock-like rhythm sound with the DarkMatter Distortion alone, and then when the two combined, you have a great lead sound. So let's check that out. First, here's my clean sound. And now with Mojo Mojo Overdrive. And now DarkMatter Distortion alone. As you can hear from the two examples, using Mojo Mojo Overdrive or DarkMatter Distortion alone, I can still use the volume knob to get a wide range of in-between sounds. So last but not least, let's hear how the pedals stack together.